let's just say an online fitness coach, or you know, could be anyone that wants to kind of really build a brand and leverage social these days. Like, what would be kind of 2 or 3 kind of like recommendations you would give them to just, I guess, get the ball rolling and start?
For sure. Like, it's not something that everyone can do because everyone's a bit different. But what I would say try and do is personality is huge. Like, because that's what makes people fall in love with you. For me, I don't know why people follow me, but I just have some sort of motivational personality. Adam, he's very, you know, C word this, C word that.
Yeah.
Cole, he's like aggressive.
Yeah.
People either like you for it or they don't.
Yeah.
Before I started blowing up on social media, I said to Bro, I was like, I'm either gonna get a follow or get blocked. And that was my goal, and just all personality.
Yeah.
And I think...
Did you have to, like, do you feel like initially you might have not put it on, but like you had to work on, I guess, becoming that person? Was there a bit of that?
Me personally, no. I was growing up, I was a bit of a character, a bit out there. And I feel like it was almost, not for me personally, but I feel like almost people don't want to share their personality. Because everyone behind closed doors is a bit like, you know, crazy and silly, whatever, and they feel like it's embarrassing to put that online, especially young kids.
Get judged, etc.
Yeah, like I'm going to go to school and get picked on because, you know, it's just...
Well, I think that and we spoke about it the other night. It's like not everyone is going to have like charisma off the chain, right?
Yeah.
Some people are going to be a bit more introverted themselves and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that they can't provide value. It doesn't mean they're not going to connect with people, because some people will look at my personality, your personality, and be like, you know what, that just isn't for me.
Yeah.
They're too in. Like,
I get a lot of people that don't like my content.
And that's totally fine. I think, you know, that message there of just that authenticity, I think, is the main one.
Yeah, it literally is. Like if you were yourself, like you said, just personality, provide value in the PT sense, and having good content, like quality content, quality audio, quality cameras. For me personally, I reckon that's massive.
So step 1 is just basically be the you behind closed doors.
Yeah, don't be afraid to be yourself.
Yeah. And then step 2, before even really getting into the content, is like making sure you got the kit.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Like you don't need you know, the camera gear, like you can run it off your phone.
Well, what are you doing? Like, I mean, I know and I've been around you and Adam, but for the audience, they probably think that you're, you know, going around with some sort of kit.
No. like a majority of my videos are off the phone, but I make sure.
What phone is that?
15.
Yeah.
But I have done it on the 12.
Yeah.
It's just knowing angles, lighting, like how to edit it. So like if I'm talking about like the Pump Kitchen video, guys, we're here at Pump Kitchen. You add an overlay of the Pump Kitchen, so what you're talking about, they can see as a reference. Not to mention changing angles, because our time span on looking at the one thing. Just small things like that. And I was never taught any of this. YouTube, learn how to edit. Learn what camera is the best. I went through 4 different cameras, Canons, and then I landed on the one I have now. I used to start on the phone.
What app would you, I mean, like, let's just say your social platform was gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? And you had no real experience in that space. And you're like, okay, cool. Today I'm going to start a social channel.
Yeah.
Like, what phone would you buy?
Oh, what phone? I thought this was going different.
Yeah.
Well, the newest one.
Yep.
It would
so like
be
an
go-to.
iPhone 15. Yep.
Yeah, but then 13.
Yeah. And then, like, what app would you use to kind of edit?
CapCut to edit.
Yep.
And then obviously your normal camera.
Yep.
But then again, go on YouTube, because there's a few tricks that you can do when you film to turn down the exposure, especially in the gym. It pops your muscles a little bit more, because it makes like the dark spots in the creases of your
Make sure,
muscles
by
and
the
things.
way, if you're watching this, to DM Trey for this, because he'll DM you back and give you the insight.
I will try.
Yeah.
I will. I actually, that's another thing too. Talking about authenticity and stuff.
Yeah.
I reply to, like, I don't have a VA or anything. I reply to a lot of my DMs. Like, it takes a lot of time on my day, and it's just something I like to do, because sometimes I send voice message, or I'm in the gym and they're like, you inspire me, and I just take a photo of myself and I'm like, I appreciate you, bro, and they just freak out, because it's not normal. For people
one thing I've found, like knowing a lot of people in the space that have built big followings, is that they all do that.
Yeah.
Not one of them, whether it's James Smith, Lane Norton, or whatever it is, they all respond to their own DMs themselves, even though they might have the business and the resources to do that. Like in Lane's space, 15 years in on social, doing stuff with big platforms.
The TMs would be
he
crazy
still,
too.
they're crazy. He's shown them to me.
Yeah.
He still does every single one, even though he's got multiple businesses, a team and all that could do it for him.
Well, it's just, I don't know. I couldn't hire a VA because it's not me.
Yeah.
And I almost feel bad that I'm replying and this person that looks up to me is like, oh my God, Trey, and it's some robot or some VA. So
why do you think, like, and it's something I know Adam's harped on a few times to me in a good way, saying make sure that the footage is high quality. Why do you think that's so important today? Because like it seems like in 2024 it's even more prevalent than last year.
Well, it stands out like in my eyes because a lot of people can have. It's not just 4K. Like you could buy the best camera, best lens, audio, but if you don't know how to use the fucking thing, it's going to go to shit. You don't just want to set up a camera. Like I'm sure the edits for this is going to be changing angles.
Yeah.
You have that how it's like slid on the side.
Yeah.
You want shit to stand out. So if you just have a good camera sitting it still, it's going to be shit. You might as well get a phone. So you can't have one if you don't have 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So it's camera, editing, and then lighting and all that type of stuff. But it's funny because that's my view. But I don't know if you know, there's a guy, Bruce Wang. So he blew up in the gym scene literally from like 20,000 to 3.2 million in a month. And all these videos, if you've seen this, I'm sorry, but not the best quality, but really entertaining. And it got people watching. And it obviously blew up, it obviously worked. So I like using him as an example because cameras these days, they're expensive.
Yeah.
And if you're young, back when I was 17, 18, trying to start this, I couldn't afford it. All I had was my phone.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to.
That people are probably watching this right now.
Yeah.
Because it's a massive excuse. Oh, bro, I'm going to start content next year. I just need to save up some money for a camera. Hey, brother, you're texting me on a phone. Go fucking use that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good, but at least you learn some sort of qualities. You get the confidence behind the camera. To then when you can afford the quality, you're ready. That's another thing too. People get the setup, but then they don't know how to be in front of a camera and talk and present themselves, and then it's just a bit of a waste of the kitty.
Well, you've touched on 2 key things here, I think, like the authenticity component.
Yeah.
Also, making sure you have some like base level tech, right?
Yeah.
Like, and tech is literally just a phone and maybe a microphone, right?
For sure.
But what about what would be your suggestions to get people stopping in their tracks as they go through social? Because I think that's the biggest thing today. It's like there's lots of good information out there.
Yeah.
But I think, you obviously do it really well yourself, but then also with the stuff that you do with Adam, like you get people to stop scrolling through their feed. Like, what would be your suggestions or recommendations around that? I know it's a pretty broad question.
Yeah, well, it's broad, but very similar. Like it depends on
because like if they don't
that creator.
if they don't stop,
first 3 seconds,
they're not gonna see your content, even if you're giving the most amazing information to help them.
First 3 seconds of any video is super important. But if you jam pack a screen filled with too much shit, people are gonna be like, oh, this is annoying. Also, too, if it's too quality and too formal, people will think that it's an ad and they'll be like, fuck that. And they'll just keep scrolling and get rid of it. So you want to do something where they know that it's you. That's like for Adam example, he'll come out and do a spin kick and people are like, what the fuck? And then they'll watch.
Yeah.
For myself, it's more like, I'm here in Bali and I heard this was the best kitchen. And then I'll point and then they'll be like, okay, like I'm going to Bali. What's the best? You want them to be intrigued. Whereas if you're sitting there and you're like, all right, guys, today I'm going to tell you about a story that happened at the shops the other day. I'm gone. Like that is boring. And people's attention span is just, they will not stick past that first 3 seconds. So my biggest thing I think is like, I was going to say to stand out, but that's so broad. Hook line. You want the first words.
Well, that's
that
what
I
took from that. It's like you said, I'm here in Bali at the best,
Yeah.
It's like location and I guess the level or the information.
It's basically like, what the fuck am I going to get out of watching this video?
Yeah.
Like in the first 3 seconds, what I'm going to say
What am I going to learn? What am I going to take away?
Is it going to be learning. Like for Adam, it's PT, and I'm going to teach you something. For me, it's either I'm going to show you something, or this is just going to be really fucking entertaining. And it's like, all right, guys, I'm here at the world's biggest nightclub. Come for the journey. And they're like, fuck yeah, what's it look like? You know, it's not educational at all. You're just going to see me take shots, but they'll feel entertained. So yeah, the hook line, like what am I getting out of this video? Tell them.